Welcome to Rock Around the Clock. Google Stadia news and gameplay live at the same time every day, Monday to Friday. Every day we check out the latest Stadia news across the internet live, closing with Stadia gameplay and chat with your host Rock and occasional guests. But first, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss out on the latest Stadia news. If you'd like to support my content, please consider joining Team Rock by hitting the join button on this page. Ooh, hello! Happy Wednesday! It is Wednesday, isn't it? Yes, it is Wednesday, Rock! Happy whatever that day is, it's the one that we're in. Happy to you anyway. It's happy to me. Happy everywhere, isn't it? Yesterday was, of course, Tuesday, and if you joined us on Stadia Rokk Show, we had a ton of stuff going on and we were celebrating, all sorts going down. So more of that, please. Rock is surveying these various monitors. It's like a freaking control center at a nuclear bunker. Young John Scars is in the chat. How are you, my friend? Good to see you. And right behind him is Gamer Mink, the man with a rabbit logo, and they're saying hello to everybody. Who else we got here? We got Metal Wolf. I'm having to look up at my chat from let me bring it down to this screen. There we go. I love all this stuff. There we are. If I put it there, I can see everybody. That's amazing. Hope you're all well, and we are going to get straight into the news. We've got a Big Apple event at 6, and although currently I am very much rocking the Samsung, there it is, very happy with it too. I do like to keep abreast of technical things, so we'll try and get the show over and done with. So if anybody else feels in the same way, we can go off and do our thing. Metal Wolf, Gamer Mink, Full Scars Gaming, great to see you guys. Thank you for joining. Now, let's whip over to the old news section. Let me know, guys, if the music is too loud or if I'm too quiet. Any of those things. I've been trying to get the balance right. It's so difficult with my headphones on because I ain't hearing it. Martin, Cloud Gaming Dad, look at that. It's not Martin, it's Joe, sorry. It's Happy Cloud Gaming that gets me confused. Sorry, Joe, I didn't mean to offend you in any way, shape or form. I hope you're keeping well, my friend. I'm just going to increase the size of this because I think it bears being increased. There we go. Let's get over to the laptop. Woohoo! I'm going to bring you back up actually, Joe, because I'm going to look at increasing the size over here too. As always, guys, let me know if this is just a little too loud. I'm very, very keen to get it right for you, as you can well imagine. Michael, how are you, my friend? Oh, look at that lovely picture of the little teeny weeny baby. Oh, bless. Thanks for popping in and joining us. Really appreciate you coming along. Metal Wolf, I'm sure Cloud Gaming Dad has been called worse things over the years. Well, there is a shout. Haven't we all? That's for sure. And the screen to the left. Or to the right, depending how you're looking. We're going to kick off over at Stadia Dosage. Now, here's the thing. A lot of the stuff that the two big news channels that we usually cover, the stuff that they're covering is predominantly from yesterday's twos. So we'll cover that anyway, and then we can always come back if needs be. But don't think they're going to have any more detail than we can get simply by looking at the thing. Of course, the news, this was September 4th, so this was on the 6th of weekend. Monday was about the Cyberpunk event, which has now been and gone. We'll cover that as well. And Stadia Source similarly does have your Five Nights at Freddy's and your Cyberpunk, and that is it. So we'll get there ourselves. We'll have a quick look at 5 to 5. Actually, it's almost 5 past 5. 9 to 5 Google. And these chaps, of course, are saying that it is the same stuff. So we'll get there ourselves, won't we? This one, I think, though, Resident Evil Village's streaming demo built on Stadia Tech will shut down this week. That one's one that I haven't seen anywhere else. Guys, please just give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down on the music, because I really want to get it right. You may love it loud. But as long as you can hear me and you're happy, I don't mind. What are the specs on the laptop? That's a good question, John. I haven't got a freaking clue. Whatever specs you would like, my friend, they are the specs that we will have it at. And I hope that you appreciate the specs for what they are. I'm just seeing, interestingly enough, that the view that you guys are getting in YouTube, let me just stretch that out. That is interesting. It's not a problem, but my screen has more of the controller and more of the laptop over here in OBS land. So that's quite weird, isn't it? That's not a problem, though. Not a problem. Sounds good to me. Good stuff. Obi Rose Kenobi, good to see you, my friend. Thanks for popping in. Enjoyed your Star Wars Lego stream yesterday. In fact, so inspired was I that this afternoon I fired up the old PS5, and there was you may or may not know this, Obi Rose, but there was an OS update today for the camera's there, Rock, not there it is, for the PS5, and you can now create lists. So I've created a list of games that I want to play, and I collected all of the Star Wars Lego games that are part and parcel of the free games that you get with the premium account. So I'm going to be doing some of that. I love those Lego games, and it was good that you played them because it got me back into them. So thank you for that. Agnello's Gambato, my beautiful friend from the absolutely stunning country of Italia. You can hear me loud and clear. Thank you, my friend. And the music hopefully is not too loud for you, because I quite like the music, but I've had people tell me I'm too quiet or the music's too loud. It's got to be important that you guys are comfortable with it all. Why does Rock sound like he should be doing movie trailer voiceovers? Oh, I'd love to, Metal Wolf. I'd love to, my friend. And I could do that, I could do now coming to a cinema near you this autumn. I could do all that stuff. This fall, Freddy's back. But I'd do it in my voice. This fall, Freddy's back. Gamer Ming, please let Stadia get leg. Oh, wouldn't it be fantastic? The man to talk to about that, of course, is young Clive. I say young because he and I were born in the same year, but there's about 3 or 4 months, 4 or 5 months difference in his favour. Yep, ladies and gentlemen, I am still the eldest in our community, and proud of it. Proud of being the godfather of Stadia, as my good friend Epic Cowboy has deemed me. Rock, I'm going to pay you to do the voiceover when they do the movie of my life. Oh man, I shall be the first in the queue to see that movie, no doubt whatsoever. Some voiceover work, yeah man, love it. Hey everybody, Nerds World is in the house. Oh, how are you, Nerds World? Good to see you. So getting back to the news, Resident Evil Village streaming demo built on Stadia Tech shuts down this week. So this is today's news from our friends at 9 to 5 Google. This is the only piece of individual unique news that's on any of these news sites. Capcom, have you played Resident Evil Village? Oh, what a game. Capcom became one of the first customers for Google's immersive stream for games, a white label version of the same tech that powers Stadia, by debuting a streaming demo for Resident Evil Village. Now though, that demo is shutting down. I mean, it's not a massive surprise. The game is got to be getting on for 18 months old, somewhere around there right now. But having said that, in June 2022, Capcom released its free demo of Resident Evil Village, giving players a shot to stream a portion of the game. I'm sure it was last year at the very earliest, wasn't it? The game's been out for a while. I'd be amazed. The Resident Evil Village online stream demo is available until September the 8th. This is obviously Capcom. 5 p.m. Pacific. 1 click is all you need to play instantly, blah, blah, blah. It was good, actually. There was pretty much the whole of the up to the castle, the first kind of village portion of the game. On September the 8th, it comes to an end. I mean, it's, there's nothing to read into it other than it served its purpose for marketing the game's initial launch. And as they've said, as they say here, it's now down to $40 on the Stadia store, which is pretty damn good. Sadly for the UK, oh, politics, it's a wonderful thing. The pound to the dollar today is at the lowest it's been since the early 1980s. So that $40 is virtually £40 for me today. I think I might wait a few days. Hopefully we'll go back up again. Oh, dear, 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 dear. Martinez, good to see you, Cloud Gaming Dad. Good to see you, Martinez. Thanks for popping in. Or most of you anyway. I'm sure there's that little bit that you like to leave behind just to be on the safe side. That's fair enough. So that was the only piece of unique news. Now, let's get ourselves... Actually, before we go here, just so that you guys know, zero news over at ESRB. And I still struggle with the Peggy website. I promise you, I do try every day to find if there's anything on Peggy, as well as on our good friend. Now, I'll just give you an example of this, guys. If you look down the left here, it says Snowtopia, and it quite literally... I tell you what, let me take you over to the close-up screen so I can prove this point. So on the left here, look at me, I'm in the clock. Hello, Mum! Rock is in the clock. He certainly is. Snowtopia on Stadia, you can see it down there on the left, okay. Yet, if I go and do the search, which is streaming platform, all right, streaming platform is the only way we can get Stadia and its friends up here. And 2022, all ages, all descriptors. A descriptor is violence, fear, bad language, and so on, and any publisher. And we do a little search. We get zero results, in spite of the fact that right there to the left is Snowtopia. This is why, and just to prove my point, let me go looking for Snowtopia. It's quite loud in my ears. I hope it's not too loud for you. I might just take it down a tad as far as I am concerned. Oh, that took it down for everybody. There we go, it's better for me. If you want it louder, if you want it, scream if you want to go faster. So, yep, Snowtopia, do a search, zero. I've no idea. The search in Peggy gets me every time. No idea what's going on there. So that's all I'm saying. If that's why I don't tend to cover it in our little news round. I'd love to, because ESRB is brilliant. It gives us every day, and all I do is search on Stadia. It's even really specific about Stadia. All I do is search for Stadia, and what else? And the rest I leave as it is, and I search for it just for today or this past week, and up it pops, which is really good. And Gamer Mink has noticed that Immortals, and I'm assuming you mean Immortals Phoenix Rising, is on sale frequently. Yeah, all the Ubisoft stuff is on sale frequently. Once you appreciate that Ubisoft's model right now, other than selling chunks of itself to Tencent, which didn't go down too well, guys, other than that, their model is quite honestly to get you to subscribe to Ubisoft Plus. Now, game sales are great, but they don't guarantee ongoing revenue. So they get a one hit for that title. It's usually quite a decent chunk of money. But what they really, really, really want is for you to sign up to the Plus model. Now, to do that, they've got to get you in on board. So they chuck out a lot of content. They chuck out a lot of DLCs. As I'm talking this through, I'm realizing that actually the point they're missing is they should make the game prices stupidly high. Not knock them into sale. And then people are going to go, oh, below that, I'm going to go and subscribe and play the games. I'm winding it back, guys. Bike flying backwards as we talk. Any road up, yes, over at yesterday's twos, which is this one. So there were 3 bits of news. One was the Edge Runners update. The other one was some Dead by Daylight Resident Evil, ironically, Project W skins et stuff, and Five Nights at Freddy's. Now, Five Nights at Freddy's, we'll cover that one first because that's actually quite interesting. And again, it's what's covered off in most of the other sites. So basically, they are not only updating Five Nights at Freddy's with a new update. They've got Gregory's, let me see, what does it say? Clever folks, Steel Wool Studios are bringing an update to Gregory's harrowing Plex survival tale, along with some general improvements and some kind of what they call quality of life. There's different phrases you'll hear. You'll often hear quality of life, and you'll often hear, oh, that was a bit creaky, that's my legs. And you'll often hear UI UX, which is user interface and user experience. But quality of life kind of encompasses it all. So there's some general QOL stuff and some bug fixes. But the big thing for Stadia, and the point being that this is unique to us, irrespective of who else has had this update, is that they are throwing crowd choice and player stats to Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach on Stadia. Now, you guys, I'm sure you're all familiar with crowd choice. If you're not, then simply it allows you it allows content creators, oh sorry, that's gone way beyond the edge of the screen. Let me make it bigger for you and leave it at that. What it basically means is that as a content creator, and as you'll see here, I can tick a little box which allows for crowd choice, and then you guys watching that game can make decisions. There'll be decisions popping up in the chat. Would you like Rokk to take this route? Would you like Rokk to take that route? Should he fight this enemy? Should he do this? And you get to choose. It's a brilliant, unique feature to Stadia. I've never used it, quite honestly, because I don't tend to do multiplayer streams, but I know that there are plenty that have, and it really does work well. So text votes and button votes, and that, folks, is coming to, I think it's even out actually. I think the update is live. Yeah, it is. The update is live now. So you can, right now, as we speak, if you are a content creator, or you could look for content creators who are streaming Five Nights at Freddy's, which is a very successful game if you are a content creator. I know there are guys in the community that have got 10 times the views for streaming Five Nights than they normally get. So, hey, Granite, how are you? Good to see you, my friend. GTR, thanks for popping in. Really appreciate taking the time on this morning, lunchtime, or dinner time, depending where you are in the world. But get yourselves over to Five Nights at Freddy's. If you've enjoyed the game, it's worth going. They've fixed a few bugs and stuff anyway. If you're a content creator, give it a go. I could imagine definitely Mr. Scar, who is in the chat, getting involved in some of that stuff. Ninja Guy X, he's definitely he's pretty much all over multiplayer. Great place to be as well. If you're building yourself up as a game streamer, then inviting in the audience to play, etc., or getting them involved with this kind of stuff is just fantastic. But I can't think and play at the same time. I'm too old, guys. And Rokk. Thank you, dude. Just gonna illuminate myself. Here we go. Boom. Wow, that's a bit too illuminating. Let's take that down. A Tadger's Todger. There we go. Right. I've got to tell you this. I chuckled to myself. This is completely nothing to do with Stadia, and I bet I'm the only one that finds this funny, but I just chuckled. I was watching, we have a thing on a Wednesday in the UK called Prime Minister's Questions. It's when the leader of the opposition party, there are basically two big parties in the UK with lots of little parties all joined together, and then you have the government and the Prime Minister. Today we had the first public appearance of our new Prime Minister, Mrs. Liz Truss, and she did a reasonable job. To be fair, I thought she didn't do a bad job for her inaugural PMQ, but some woman stood up and said something about beavers, and she was saying about saving beavers, and she said, I'm sure the Prime Minister will join me in her appreciation of beavers. And the camera panned over to the PM, the Prime Minister, and she's like, and I thought, oh, this is brilliant. It's like being in the school dinner hall. It made me chuckle. You know where I'm going with this, guys. You know exactly where I'm going with this. But it did make me, I'm sure that's what was going on there. There is a thing in the House of Commons that's been shown over the few years that certain MPs have bets on what phrases and words they can sneak into their speeches, and they're very naughty, and I'm sure that was one of them, and I just chuckled to myself. Anyway, nothing to do with Stadia. Canadians know all about beavers. I'm sure they do, Granite. I'm sure they do. So there you go. Five Nights at Freddy's. I played it a little bit. I have to admit that I haven't played it nearly enough, and I should play a lot more. Resident Evil, Dead by Daylight. Didn't mean to do that. Let's get back. Look, Dead by Daylight, you know what it's all about. Resident Evil, you know what that's all about. They put them together. They charge you for the skins. That's what that's all about. Just to give it a little recap, Albert Wesker, the mastermind. I don't know. I played The Village, and I played Resident Evil prior to The Village. I forget what it's called now. The one where you're in the kind of deep south in the bayou and so on. And both of them were absolutely fantastic. I loved those games. But before that, I know there was Raccoon City and a whole bunch of things which I've played bits of, but I don't know the story and the lore like you guys do. So, but I'm told that Albert Wesker is a character that sort of made a minor showing in, I think, a film or a TV production, and is back. So that was good. As somebody who knows Resident Evil, I'm just picking up, I'm getting a bit of hearsay, but it was somewhere around there. So anyway, that I'm assuming is Albert Wesker. Usual kind of stuff. You have to, be a character and chase characters. And it's a game that a lot of people are really into. A lot of streamers stream it as well. And I think I love the fact as a business that they keep it fresh with these franchises. I've no idea what the deal is, but I'm assuming there's a percentage of sale that goes back to the owner of the IP. They could license it outright, and there may be a bit of both as well. But any road up, if you're into your Resident Evil, then you've got that on Dead by Daylight. So, Pedder, how are you, my friend? Good to see you. Dead by Daylight is on sale right now. You're right, Mink. And on top of that, I think all of the skins are pretty much on sale as well. I spotted that earlier. So, wardrobe. Oh, yeah, no. Back up. We're going to go and have a quick chit-chat about Cyberpunk. So, Cyberpunk, there was an event yesterday, which was Night City Wire. So CD Red do these things maybe once a quarter. Might be more frequent than that, but that's all that I'm aware of, where they talk about the game. And obviously, for the first 6 months after launch, it was very apologetic, and we're getting to fix stuff, and we're doing our best and everything else. But more latterly, it's been about the future of Cyberpunk. And obviously now most people who bought it at launch have played it and loved it and, except for me. I am still on the very, very end, and having not really played the game to the extent that I know others have, I haven't really got the weaponry and stuff to finish it. So I'm in two minds whether to start again or whether to keep going. I'm not sure yet. But anyway, good news was that on September the 13th, they launch a brand new show on Netflix, which is called Edge Runners. It's a spin-off of Cyberpunk, so it's the universe of Cyberpunk. It doesn't have V in it, as far as I'm aware, or any of the other characters. It's kind of a spin-off. Now, I can't show you the trailer because when I showed the trailer yesterday on Stadia Rokk Show for the Netflix show without any sound, I got demonetized. I've put in an appeal, but that was Netflix that did that. So watch out, guys, if you're in that position, because they're pretty hot on it. Hopefully it'll be overturned, but you can never tell. So we're not going to show you that trailer. But equally, yesterday, they also launched some additional content into Cyberpunk, which went live on Stadia, I'm really pleased to say, at the same time as it did everywhere else, except, of course, we didn't have to download and install it. But we got some good new features. Transmog, wardrobe transmog, which transmogrification, which basically means you can change your outfits and and how you look and stuff. Sometimes in games like Destiny, for example, you have to earn the armor and earn the stuff, the skins. Whereas, as far as I'm aware, that's not the case here. You can just change your look, and it doesn't affect your armor stats, which is really cool as well. So if you've got really amazing armor stats on a really ugly jacket, you can now change how the jacket looks, and you'll keep your armor stats. So that's freaking good. David Wilson, my good friend, how are you, buddy? Thanks for popping in. Good to see you. Howdy Cloudies, it's back. That's what I like to see. When you say howdy Cloudies, I know you're in a relatively good mood, my friend. It makes me feel happy. Martin, Rokk Show, I am in the same camp. I start games, but after some time there's something cool and shiny. Yeah, do you know, the thing is, Martin, weirdly, I used to pride myself on completing games. The last game that I completed was Valhalla, I think. But that was Valhalla, the main campaign, plus all the current DLCs, which is like 100 and something hours. But recently I've struggled to spend more than a few hours in games. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm doing this every day. I don't know. Victor, good to see you, buddy. How are you? Great to have you join us. Thank you so much, my friend. So you've got transmogrification. You've got 3 new gigs. I don't know how big they are, but they're optional quests to expand your forays into Night City. There are new weapons, and as Stadia says, you can never have too many of those. And there's an Edge Runners content pack. Now, I'm not sure, but I'm assuming that what we're seeing on the screen here is indeed that content pack. And I'm just going purely by what this guy's wearing on this bike, which looks suspiciously like that yellow jacket there, doesn't it? And it includes items inspired by the upcoming Cyberpunk Edge Runners anime, which is flipping brilliant. Now, on top of that, but it isn't mentioned here, they also confirmed that there will be at least, but probably the last, big update for Cyberpunk, which is coming next year. No dates. It's called, it's gone out of my head, Liberty something. Anyway, it's a big update. You guys can help me out in the chat. I've forgotten. It's gone out of my head. It's been confirmed. It will come to Stadia. It's going to be very, very big. I assume you'll be buying it, and I'm guessing it's going to be on... oh yes, I did complete Stray. Thank you, David. You're quite right. I did complete Stray. Yeah, that would have been the last game I completed. Yeah, thanks, buddy. That's true. I did complete Stray. You're quite right. Thank you. So that's excellent. And to coincide with all of this as well, which I ought to make a little mention of, we launched a big giveaway yesterday on Stadia Rokk Show. It's a cyberpunk giveaway, or a cyberpunk themed giveaway, unlike my usual giveaways. So if you're new to the channel, thank you. Leave a like, hit the bell. I'll be back tomorrow. My usual giveaways are we announce it on the Tuesday, and then we draw, or I announce it on the Tuesday, and I draw the winner at random from the Wheel of Love on a Friday. So you get 4 days to basically get the questions in, hit the like, subscribe, leave a comment, the usual stuff. Because it's a much bigger prize, I'm stretching it over 2 weeks. So there's no panic. You can enter right literally up until 4 p.m. Friday week, which I believe is the 16th, I think. So it's all good. There's a question that you have to answer each week. So there'll be 2 questions. And the first question is on Twitter. If you go to my profile and look at my pinned tweet, it's there. Or if you look at yesterday's Stadia Rokk Show in the description, it's there as well. The prize is a copy of Cyberpunk on Google Stadia, or if you want to, Phantom Thingy, whatever it was. The Phantom, not very menacing. Or you can hang out and wait for the update, or maybe put in for the pre-order On top of that, though, there's also a Wasabi Stadia controller, or a colour of your choice. And on top of that, a cyberpunk coloured skin, a 3M vinyl, so it's like ain't coming off, sticker skin for your controller, or a controller of your choice. There's 3 big prizes. Currently, or at least yesterday, it was worth about $140, but that seems to be going up and down as the dollar and the pound have a battle over things. But massive prize, so get yourselves into those various places if you want to order, if you want to get into that prize giveaway. Don't forget, if you are a member, and we're up to 42 now, which is absolutely stunning, and Dre, my good friend Dre, became a member today as well. Thank you, Dre. And if you're a member, you get automatically added into all the Stadia, into all my rock giveaways. So Stadia Rokk Show predominantly at the moment, but there may be others in other places, nudge nudge, and you automatically go into those. You get automatically added into the giveaway and the prize draw, even if you aren't aware of it. So you never know, one day you might be on holiday, come back to a little tweet from me saying, congratulations, you won the BMW. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Yes, I know, David, we're getting there. We're getting to that magic 50, my friend. You did say. You did say. Martinez, calling on the Viking and Aztec gods of my ancestors to win this one. Oh, bless it. Yeah, what an that's a true, what an amazing pedigree. I think it was Victor earlier that said, yes, he did. Other piece of news, which I haven't got covered here. It's worth covering it, though. There is a Ubisoft forward on Saturday coming up. So if you go to, I think it's forward.ubisoft.com. In fact, we could try and have a look, couldn't we? Let me have a look. And there's a link there to their Twitch. Now, in the past, I think, no, it's not that. In the past, they give you stuff if you turn up in their Twitch, which is always good. Here we go. So it's definitely worth checking that out. What's going on their website? Here it is. Saturday, September the 10th. It is going to be 9 p.m. in Europe, Central European time, which I think is 8 p.m. in the UK, and 12 p.m. Pacific. It's actually quite late. Oh, it'd be no, that's midday Pacific. Yeah, no. So it'd be about, 4 or 5 in the afternoon on the East Coast. So that's not a bad time all round, actually. They're going to be announcing some stuff covering Mario, Rabbids, Sparks. They've got Skull and Bone, more Skull and Bones, and a big special Assassin's Creed showcase. So it was confirmed, we kind of had it leaked a little while ago, but it was confirmed that Assassin's Creed Mirage is going to be coming up, I think, fairly soon. Again, there haven't been any dates, but I think it's going to be before the holidays, is my guess. And it's based on Basim, one of the characters in Valhalla, who is kind of the mentor to Eivor in the game. I don't know if it's at the same time or whether it's post or pre the Valhalla story, but it's going to be set in his locale, which is the Middle East, I think Persia, which is kind of Iran, but it doesn't really matter. And that looks amazing. There was a kind of a trailer that went out the other day, which looks stunning. So look out for that. There may or may not also be news of Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed Infinity, which is the big project that most of Ubisoft studios have been working on. This is massive. We don't know much about it yet. I would love to think that it's going to be cloud-based. I think you can kind of guess from the title that it's going to be like a live Destiny-like game. And probably there'll be different worlds. So in those different worlds will be the different characters and the different time zones from Assassin's Creed, which isn't beyond possible. I mean, it is possible because, of course, Assassin's Creed is really about time travel and putting yourself into the life of somebody in a specific time using the ambulance or whatever it's called. So, all of that's very, very possible. I think it could be amazing. Quick catch up. There he is. There's Dre, our very latest member. Thank you, my friend. Great to see you. And thank you so much for joining as well. Bless you so much. Imprant Stadia Pro Gaming. He gets around. He does get around, the old tart. Great to see you, my friend. Thank you for popping in. Now then, what was it down here? I think Martin says there is a town in Assassin's Creed Valhalla called Stavanger. Well, that's my town. And Martin, there's a town in Valhalla called Exeter, and that's my town. In fact, one of the river raids is up the River Ex, and I did a little vlog video on my channel not so long ago up the River Ex, and you can actually see all of that. So yeah, we've got something in common again. Oh, it'd be nice to have a For Honor Stadia announcement. That's a lot of people are really after that, my friend, but I've not seen that it's coming. If you've seen any news of it coming, it would be cool. But at this moment, I'm not aware that it's in the bag. It'd be nice to think so. So anyway, lots of Valhalla. The other thing is, and again, this is prepped for, I think, quite imminent release, is the Division Heartland, which is going to be a free-to-play PvPvE game. So I don't know whether by that it means, you know, in the Division, you have the Dark Zone, where around the Dark Zone it's basically PvE, and then if you go into the Dark Zone, it's PvP. Or you can elect not to be part of that and just go after enemies and stuff. It could be that, or it could be more like Destiny, where outside of the Crucible you can team up with people to take on bosses and quests and, you know, that kind of stuff. So it's going to be something like that, but that's coming up soon as well. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. So much good stuff coming out of Ubisoft. There was a little bit of controversy earlier because their shares took a tumble when Tencent, who, as you guys probably know, big Chinese investor in games and game studios, more than I think they do produce their own as well, but they largely buy into game developers. Well, they increased their stock in Ubisoft. They're now the single largest private shareholder. They've taken an 11% position, but they actually have authority to go to 17%, which was granted by the Ubisoft board. The reason the shares tumbled was that the good old Wall Street was hoping that Ubisoft were going to sell out in the near future and they'd cash in. Whether or not that is a benefit to us as gamers, of course, is a whole question. I personally love what they do. I know there are people that feel they've gone stale. I love their games and I love their model, and for me, if they keep giving me that, I'm happy. I don't need to see them do that. Based on leaks, Maker of Chaos, good to see you, my friend. The Division Heartland may be more similar to Escape from Tarkov, right, where you grab loot and extract out. So that would be with non-NPCs predominantly, I'm assuming, so you can go in with teams. So more like, in a way, Rainbow Six Siege then, Maker, I'm going to guess. This is kind of what I said on yesterday's show. Either way, looking forward to it. Now here you go, you see, I told you this would be the case. If you get yourself, it's actually, let me take you to this so you can see the URL at the top. There you go. That's the URL. In GB may be different, of course, if you're not in an English-speaking country. Could be NUS, but just put forward Ubisoft. And if you watch for 15 minutes on Twitch, you earn the Skull and Bones emblem in Skull and Bones. 30 minutes explosive detail charm in Rainbow Six Siege. 45 minutes, you get RC22 original cosmetic in Roller Champions. And for an hour, you earn the Sphinx tattoo set in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So it's always worth dropping in there. In the past, they've given away entire games. It's a good way to keep you watching, so that you can, you know, get involved with all of their stuff. So it's definitely one to watch for sure. I do that all the time anyway, and you've got to be in it to win it. It's connected through Twitch to do that, I think. I can't remember. Those watching on Twitch, there you go, will be eligible to earn Twitch drop rewards. So you've got to be in Twitch. It's the only way that works for multiple games. And there you go, all those times and stuff. So it's absolutely fantastic. There you go, Ubisoft forward. And we have pretty much covered all the official news. So if we get ourselves down to the bookmarks for the last 10-15 minutes, and I'll take myself back up to the laptop. Ping. Here we go. And our very good friend of the show, Zach Laidlaw. I always like to give Zach a shout out because he's actually a cracking journo. And as you can see, he's How to Geek and Android Police and other places. And he's put this really nice tweet out within the last 22 hours. Let's settle the debate, says Zach, once and for all. Stadia has independent servers, in brackets consoles, its own storefront, social features, friends, voice, message chat, achievements, media center, and dedicated dev tools. It is a cloud gaming platform, not a service, Team Stadia. Yeah, and our good friend Pedder, who's also in the chat, wrote a cracking article at Stadia Dosage saying exactly the same thing. You cannot compare Stadia to the other cloud gaming services because that's what they are. They provide a hosting platform predominantly for games, whereas Stadia adds so many other layers, including the console, the controller, and the tools. So yeah, great article. Did see article that investors are disappointed there's no imminent takeover in the offering but this is what I just said, mate, for the last 10 minutes. But I'm glad you're with us. I do love Martin. Good afternoon, Jeffrey. How are you, sir? I hope you're well. Do you have... Is it... No, I'm thinking of Sweden, which you definitely are not Swedish. Well, you may be in the past. I'm not sure on the origins of Genac. It sounds French to me, but who knows? Anyway, a good afternoon to you, my very good friend. And Jeff, says Martinez. Now, this is really good, actually. This Stefan Denhout said earlier, he was cheesed off. He was cheesed off that Cyberpunk doesn't have cross-progression like other versions of the game. And then he remembered that there is a way that you can actually get your progression with Google Stadia and, in some instances, use that to update progression on other platforms. Now, this is something that was published on Reddit a long time ago, and I remember seeing it at the time thinking that was freaking cool. And you can also get your pictures and your videos and stuff from the same place. But basically, Google provides a place where you can go and download data, and that includes your progression in games. It's takeout.google.com, so this is what he says here. Choose Stadia, download the data, unzip your latest save game for whatever game this is. In this case, it's Cyberpunk. Go to your local save game folder, CD Projekt Red, blah, blah. Let me go to the thread. And I think he carried it on. Copy your to a manual created folder, start Cyberpunk and load into the game, save your game again, Cloud Magic. You can now open GeForce Now or play it locally on your PC and play with your Stadia save. So obviously there's a small amount of players that's going to benefit. But if you do happen to have a PC version of the game, that gives you an opportunity to play. Now, it's a bit of a pain, I grant you that, and you're not going to want to do it all the time. But if you are in that situation, and that's particularly something of importance to you, then check out Stefan's tweet. He's cheeky boink, B-O-I-N-C. Do you know, for the longest time I read that, for as long as I've been, until very recently, I read it as cheeky bionic. And I even thought when he was streaming one day that he was a typo. And then I spotted, no, you fool, you'd misread it. So that's a really neat. Oh no, that's no problem at all, my friend. You do write some cracking stuff. What the heck are you doing, Rock? You're chopping people's messages off. Get the flip me, boing. There we go. Let's get it back there. Apologies, guys. I haven't been watching. I hope I've sorted that for you. There we go. No, absolutely deserved, my friend. And I love what you're doing, and long may you continue to do it. And I know that it's given you a whole new release and, an avenue to pursue as well, which I think is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. The guys at Stadia Dosage are absolutely amazing as well. So, Stefan had a really great discovery. Let's get back to our bookmarks. As we go. Stadia Dosage, they published, actually they've had this up on their site for a little while, but I presume it's MM2K, may have been Jack, but they popped up on Twitter that you can actually go and share this calendar. The beauty of this is that they have captured all of the regular Stadia-related content creation shows. So obviously there are one-offs. There are some people, like I used to fire up, I fancy playing some games, I'd fire it up and have a little stream. But now, of course, every day, 5 p.m, this has become my little time slot. So they've recorded all of that into a calendar, and I've got, here we go, we can have a look at it here. There we are. So you can literally see from Sunday to Saturday who is streaming, and I think it's in, I want to say it's in Eastern. Yeah, it's in Eastern, but I mean, you can change it to your time zone, particularly once you open it in your calendar, because down the bottom, you can add it to your Google Calendar of choice. I've got a couple different accounts, so I've added it to my Stadia account, and once it's there, it will automatically convert to your time zone, so you'll be able to see. And there you go. So you've got Rock Around the Clock and Stadia Rokk Show, and I'm there all of 5 days in the week. And then straight after me for 3 days of the week, including, I think, today, is William. It's got SPC, but I think he meant SPG. Anyway, it should actually be SPG. But it's Stadia Pro Gaming, and that's always worth checking out as well, because William is a really good gamer. And he loves to take time to explain things as well, as you'll have seen if you watch Stadia Pro on the Stadia Pro Tips on Stadia Rokk Show. And then Primo is kicking off down here. Primo he is trying to do a regular show every day, and it's the key thing. Clive, of course, on a Monday. And so on. So it's a really good one. You'll get this pop up. You can set up notifications so that you get notified, an alternative to the YouTube bell, which not everybody sees. So that's a neat thing to have, and I know that a load of people have RT'd and liked that. Very quickly, moving on, Philip Rodriguez. He, very interestingly, he's posted that his MacBook Pro, his MVP, which he plays Stadia on, only used 7% playing Stadia. Now, he doesn't say how long he was playing for, but I'm going to assume he was playing it for a bit. I love the fact that he's got a Nintendo 3DS folder over here, which I'm assuming is full of emulating games. But 7% for whatever time frame. He's basically saying that because he's playing Stadia and it isn't using his GPU much or his CPU much, that obviously it's a lot less of a hit than a game. And if you're out and about on a laptop, it's actually a really important thing. And, I think this is going to be, again, something that more and more people that, as we remote work more, from home or on the train or whatever, I think the ability to play remotely is a cool thing. So thank you for that one, Philip Rodriguez. Dad Plays Games, our very good friend Joe. No, Bjorn this time. Oh, I get this wrong every time. Bjorn Fristrom. He's not in the chat. I can get away with it just this once. We don't know if it's just hype, but if we don't see the rumoured Assassin's Creed 1 remake on Saturday, I'll be surprised. Yeah, I forgot to mention this. In the Ubisoft forward, they could also talk. We know this was dropped recently that they're not only working on the Mirage and Infinity, but they're remaking Assassin's Creed 1. it's Assassin's Creed. As long as people are moaning about Assassin's Creed and Far Cry, they can moan all they want, but they are by far their most successful titles. Master Assassin and Legend, comment what your most memorable moment from Assassin's Creed is for a chance to win a set of limited edition playing cards. Oh wow, they're pretty cool, aren't they? That's a tweet. That's obviously a separate tweet to what Bjorn is saying. But Assassin's Creed, it's officially a Ubisoft Twitter account. But if you reply with your most memorable moment, I mean, quite frankly, you could put when the dog ate my homework while I was playing, whatever. They'll randomly choose somebody to win a branded Assassin's Creed set of playing cards. That's pretty neat. I like that. And then Phantom Liberty. Thank you, IGN. There we go. Here's a very quick 50-second trailer of Phantom Liberty, which we've now had confirmation is coming to Stadia. So that's absolutely brilliant stuff. Yes, look at this. And I hope to have completed Cyberpunk 2077 for year one by the time this comes out. But they've not only did they confirm it's coming to Stadia, but they've also confirmed that Johnny Silverhands, of course, played by the most wonderful Keanu Reeves, is also reprising his role, as they say, in these circles. Phantom Liberty, no idea when it's coming out, other than 2023. And it's irrelevant that they don't say Stadia at the bottom. I still don't really know why that's not why it isn't there. I've often wondered whether it's because they get given, there's an incentive for them to promote those platforms. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. It'll be contractual, I'm certain of that. And I'm assuming that because Stadia is not in any great position to demand anything still yet, they can't build that into their contract, but it'll come. And let's face it, at the end of the day, you do kind of, as a publisher or as a studio, want to promote where it's going to be. But there you go. It'll change, I'm sure. Here we go. Division Heartland, now available in the Ubisoft. Now, it was. When this guy captured this video, which is what it is, in the Ubisoft store, which basically shows the Division Heartland, free to play, PC download. I don't know that it's coming to Stadia, by the way. I'm just mentioning it here because there's a Ubisoft Forward coming up. I don't know that we've been told it's coming to Stadia. I'd love to hear if we have heard. But the fact that it simply says PC download there may not mean anything. I will find out soon enough. But it's going to be good, and look forward to that. It's a free to play as well. I mean, what's not to love? So good on you, Ubisoft. And that was that. There you go, guys. That's covered all of our news for the day. Let's get back up to the welcome channel. Here we are. So thank you so much, guys, for joining, as always, on this Wednesday. I'm going to head off now and see what them cheeky scamps at Apple are lining up to fleece our pockets with. I'm quite looking forward to... I haven't had a new iPhone since the 12. I gave my 12 to my daughter recently, who then sold it. But it's okay, because I've always had... Well, I've got this Samsung S10, which is basically my spare. But do you know what? I secretly love it when I don't have my iPhone, because I really do love this phone. And I've configured it now to do exactly and operate exactly how I would like it to operate. So I'm not worried. And I'm certainly not in the mood to spend a ton of money right now. And I don't know how much they're going to be, but it's going to be quite a lot of dosh. But I'm always keen to see what Apple are up to. So you guys go and enjoy that. And thank you once again for joining and all of your support. I really, really do appreciate it. Please drop a like if you haven't already. Of course, if you're new, I'd love to have you a subscriber. Please subscribe. You don't have to ring the bell if you don't want to. But just to know that people really want to watch the content, keeps me doing it. Anyway, I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a cracking rest of your Wednesday. I will see you on Thursday, and we're then on the last stretch to the weekend. Much love to you too, Martinez. Thank you, my friend. We got a joke in as well. I don't know that I've turned that joke. I think I may have turned the feature off. They keep updating the plugin, and I've got to keep going back and doing the settings. I'll turn it on for the next time. Take care, guys. See you soon.